You know why I love my PlayStation 5 Pro so much? I was just sitting there and I turn it on. I've basically been turning it on every day. Between that and a PC, it just depends on the game that I'm checking out or playing at the time. But the thing is when I turn on my PS5 Pro, and I got it hooked up to my LG C2, something that like a while back, you know, like with the base PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, I didn't even put them on the 4K TV anymore. I just had them directly hooked up to a 1440p monitor because that was the best overall experience that I figured I would be able to get from them. So when I got the PlayStation 5 Pro, I did test this on a 1440p monitor for a couple of days, but then I just thought, dude, this is pointless, man. I can literally hook this up to a 4K display and it looks fine. So here's the thing, guys. I do love pretty visuals. I mean, obviously I bought a PC, but the thing is like, I don't necessarily need like max visual quality or all of that stuff. I just need my games to look consistent and good on a 4K display. And when I'm sitting here on the PlayStation 5 Pro and I'm going through my back catalog of all the games that I've got and some newer ones, man, I'm checking out, you know, Square Enix sent me a copy of Dragon Quest 3 remake, some Fantasian, and then I've bought a bunch of other games, you know, to check them out. I just bought Dying Light 2 the other day. I bought, you know, Deep Silver sent me a copy of, Dead Island 2 to check out on the PS5 Pro with the PS5, you know, upgrades and enhancements and stuff. And I find myself sitting here, guys, and I'm turning it on and I'm playing it. And I just find myself immersed in the experience. I don't sit there and pixel peep and count pixels and all of that stuff. Like the fun factor. You know, that thing that some of us seem to not be able to find in our lives anymore when it comes to video games, because we're too fixated on trying to find the flaws. Like who does that? Who buys products to look for flaws, man? That's crazy. Like, I know that it might seem like I did that when I first started the channel with the PS5 Pro. I mean, dude, my head was so messed up when I first started this channel. I had still been watching like Digital Foundry all the time, and like my head was just so messed up. Like it was like I was going out of my way to look for problems. It's taken a while to like reset that. Like, I've literally had to buy a ROG Ally, you know, or an Xbox Series S, and I've had to play these games, you know, and like, oh my gosh, my guys, it's so nice to have my mind back and to be able to find a way to fully enjoy the hobby that I love, to be able to find a way to enjoy these games and to play them and to look at them and be like, oh, okay, and decide for myself if they look good or not, and not have to have somebody telling me, some expert telling me what I'm supposed to like and what I'm not supposed to like. I mean, I did the same thing with PC. Everybody swears up and down, hey, you should go with NVIDIA, it's the best. And then here I am on an AMD card, and I'm like, dude, I love this experience more. I think it's better. I think the AMD experience is significantly better for gamers. Now, if you put work and all that other stuff into the equation, maybe it, you know, definitely changes. If you put a higher emphasis on ray tracing, then obviously NVIDIA is going to matter more. You're getting a better overall experience with Indiana Jones on the NVIDIA cards with ray tracing than you are on the AMD cards. Actually, you're not even getting path tracing on the AMD cards. So it is what it is. I mean, maybe that's enough to convince me to go back to NVIDIA next generation. Maybe it's not. Like, it doesn't, you never know. I mean, with the world of graphics and hardware and all of that stuff, you never know. Like, tomorrow we could find out we're getting a new Xbox, and I could end up back over on the Xbox in just a freaking, you know, few months or whenever the new hardware launches. You never know. You never know. Right now, I'm happy. I'm content with my 7900 XTX and my PlayStation 5 Pro. I find them to be very good. When I'm looking at, you know, PS5 Pro on a 14 or on a 4K display, and I'm looking at like the overall image quality, and I'm playing the games and stuff, like, I find myself consistently impressed with the overall experience that PlayStation 5 Pro has brought to the table. I get better overall performance, I get better overall image quality, I've got more I've got more storage to save all my games too. There's plenty of games out there to play that I've already bought, that I've already collected. We're going to be getting more games as the generation goes on. Like, you got to remember, like, we're halfway through and we're finally getting, you know, the PlayStation 5 Pro. And, you know, honestly, guys, I get where everybody's coming from, but 4 years in the world of technology, like, you need some advancement, especially if you want your games to continue to grow. I mean, or we say, hey, you know what? We had good graphics last generation. We just want more games. We just want better games. You know, we want games to look like that. We just want the performance. Because let's face it, Xbox One and PS4 generation graphics were actually really good and sufficient. Like, those graphics honestly really could suffice longer in throughout gaming, you know, until hardware really does get to a point to really deliver on that generational leap of visuals and performance at the same time. Like, I honestly do feel like we could still be playing games from that generation just with better performance now. I think that would have been a much better use of the overall hardware that we've gotten, because we did have a very good cross-gen period where we were getting 60 FPS, we were getting 4K, and we were enjoying that. We were happy. Like, that was a good start to this generation. And then boom, they hit us with the Unreal Engine 5 and all these other, you know, ray tracing techniques and all of this stuff, and it completely dropped the overall resolution, making the experience not as consistent as what we were hoping to get, or not, or you know. So when PlayStation 5 Pro comes out and it's able to deliver that image quality, give us back that image quality, and still help us retain that performance edge that we were getting with these consoles, that's not a bad thing, my friends. Like, I'm very 100% for the overall PlayStation 5 Pro. And to tell you the truth, like, I know, I'm sorry, I just need to fix that. I know that there's a lot of people out there that are going to be negative about this regardless, no matter what. That's their thing. That's how they want to, you know, go through life, is just being completely negative about everything. But I'm telling you, the sooner you switch to PlayStation 5 Pro, the sooner you're going to start having a better gaming experience, like you are. Now there are some caveats to that. If you go get a 1440p monitor, you're going to solve a lot of your image quality problems just by getting a monitor. And I assure you that, like, you're going to solve a significant amount of those, and you're still going to be able to get your 60 FPS and stuff like that. And it's going to be pretty comparable to what you do with the PlayStation 5 Pro. But at the same time, your PlayStation 5 is not going to have access to PSSR or any of the other new technologies that are, you know, the better ray tracing performance or any of that stuff. So there are some things that you would be leaving on the table, but you really can honestly solve the image quality problem right now just by getting a monitor. And you could probably get a 1440p monitor anywhere from just a couple $100 up to the cost of a PlayStation 5 Pro that is going to significantly improve the experience that you already have on a PS5, on just a base PS5 and an Xbox Series X. But yeah, if you want to play at 4K, the PlayStation 5 Pro is a very decent opportunity for that. Like, I find myself in a peculiar situation, like I said, because it's like, normally I don't care about 4K. Like, I've given up on 4K, you know, at the beginning of this generation with these new consoles. I was just like, I just don't care anymore. Like, it's a pipe dream. We're not getting it. It doesn't look good. I'm sick and tired of these blurry, fuzzy games that run at 864p. And then I bought a PC, and then I run all my games on a 3440 by 1440p monitor. Even on the PC, it's still very hard to run games at 4K. So getting a 1440p monitor, you pretty much just completely cut out any of the negativity that you would potentially be feeling by just going with a correct resolution and being able to get significantly higher performance, because you are accepting a lower resolution. But for PS5 Pro to be able to come out and deliver the same games that you already had and make them look significantly better on a 4K screen, I think that's actually pretty decent. Yes, it's upscaling, but it's convincing. it's convincing enough to where I'm like, okay, this looks good. I could play these on a 4K screen. I could enjoy this experience on a 4K screen, because it is hard when you get an OLED TV, an OLED panel, and you're trying to play some of these games at 30 frames a second on a 4K OLED. Boy, that is one tough experience to try to do, because that looks very choppy on a 4K OLED. Like it's just bad. It is bad. So, all right, my friends, if you guys like this content, do not forget to like and subscribe. Nothing but PS5 Pro positivity coming from this channel. I'm happy with it. I think it's incredible. I know there's a lot of people out there that are upset, that are trying to be negative about it, to try to steer people away from it. But I guarantee you, man, I think you'll be happy with what this can do, because it has 100% restored my hype and my excitement for the consoles that was really starting to. I was getting pretty freaking I was getting pretty radicalized against consoles. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm grateful that I bought the PS5 Pro, because I was getting radicalized. PC started to radicalize me to the point where I was just like, no, man, those consoles are for toys. They're toys, they're for kids, whatever. PlayStation 5 Pro, man, it's actually bringing me back to being like, no, man, like we can exceed the boundaries and we can still deliver an experience, but it is gonna be costly. And you know, yeah, like I get it, like I understand, and I hope Xbox does do something similar so that Xbox fans can have something to really enjoy the experience, because you shouldn't have to get a 1440p monitor. You should be able to enjoy the games that you want to enjoy on the screen resolution that you already bought. So yeah, I hope that Xbox does something like this, but right now, thankfully, PlayStation did this, because it has restored my hype for the console. So, all right, my friends, if you like this content, do not forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.